Welcome back. A bipartisan group of 33 attorneys general suing Meta over what they say are addictive features aimed at kids and teens. The attorneys general say, quote, Meta designed its Facebook and Instagram products to keep young users on them for longer and repeatedly coming back. Meta did this via the design of its algorithms, copious alerts, notifications, and so-called infinite scroll-through platform feeds. The group also alleges Meta includes features in its applications that negatively impact teens' mental health, such as likes or photo filters. The states are seeking an end to what they see as the social media giant's harmful practices, as well as penalties and restitution. In an emailed statement, a spokesperson for Meta wrote, quote, we share the Attorney General's commitment to providing teens with safe, positive experiences online and have already introduced over 30 tools to support teens and their families. We're disappointed that instead of working productively with companies across the industry to create clear, age-appropriate standards for the many apps teens use, the attorneys general have chosen this path. And joining us now, two of the attorneys general who are part of the lawsuit, Phil Weiser of Colorado, who co-led the investigation into Meta, and Andrea Joy Campbell of Massachusetts. Thank you very much, both of you, for being with us. I'll start with Phil Weiser. Mr. Attorney General, I always likened this building problem that social media was facing, giving to young people, like the cigarettes, the tobacco lawsuits. Is there any similarity to sort of the widespread damage that is being caused by tech and social media to our country's young people? And does this lawsuit even begin to wrap its arms around that damage?
Let me take both those points. The big tobacco, and you may remember Joe Camel, was an effort to get young people hooked because they were and I'm now quoting from what Meta said about young people, in this case, a valuable and untapped market. Juul would be another case that state attorney brought as well, where young people were targeted and basically ensnared in dangerous behavior that harmed their physical and mental health. Young people not getting enough sleep, young people exhibiting behaviors like self-harm and suicide because of these black holes that you adverted to. This is a serious issue. Your question is, can we do something about it? We're committed to it. We're going to be vigilant. We're going to make sure we do all we can to protect our kids.
Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell, if you can talk about exactly how this suit will intend to prove that. What is the damage that you will be bringing to the table to try and what would the restitution be?
So it's a bipartisan coalition, which is remarkable in this time when Democrats and Republicans, at least in Congress, don't seem to be able to work together. We are, and there are actually over 40 of us. Some have brought federal claims and some have brought state claims. Massachusetts is one of the states that's brought a state claim under our consumer protection laws. And we've been crystal clear that this is about deception and not regulating content, but regulating bad conduct by this company that took significant research of our young people and used that research to develop a product and to design a product that they knew would make these young users addicted. And that addiction has led to more addictive behavior by young users. And of course, an uptick in anxiety, depression, self-harm, and so much more. And they could have designed it differently, but chose not to. And so we're going after them for this deception, these lies. And as my Colorado colleague has said, this is significant. All of us are seeing the mental health crisis in our states and, of course, across this country. And we're taking action to address it.
General Weiser, boy, it's an almost impossible time in 2023 to be a parent. You're worried about school safety, you're worried about playground safety, you're worried about your child each and every day, and now you have to worry about what they're doing in their bedrooms with their iPhones. Could you specifically tell us, Meta says they're interested in safe, positive experiences online. Could you spell out specifically what dangerous elements are you talking about here?
Let me give you a couple examples. One is, as you know, kids in their bedrooms staying up very late having access to the content and having these addictive features means they're not getting a good night's sleep. Our kids are suffering and hurting as a result, not able to learn. Also, the addictive features that Andrea Campbell talked about are really problematic, because that means people can't stop when they're going down a dark hole with darker and darker thoughts. This is something that we see on all sorts of statistics over the last decade. While Instagram has become a more go-to platform of choice, our young kids are not okay. They are suffering more. They're experiencing these conditions that are being worsened. And there's no question about it. There's a connection here. Meta knows their connections is there, and they're telling people it's safe. That's the deception that A.G. Campbell's talking about.
Oh, right. One thing they could ask the Meta executives is if they let their kids on social media. I'll let you tell.
I think that would be a very good question to ask them. But General Campbell, let me ask you this. Will this lawsuit and I certainly congratulate everyone coming together in a bipartisan way, but will this lawsuit not settle for Meta or anyone to just say, okay, here's a certain amount of damages and continue in the same way they're doing? How attached to real reforms and real corrective behavior on the parts of these companies are attached to the lawsuit before it is settled, assuming it moves forward?
So all of us who are participating in this, we're bringing every resource and every tool in our office to bear, because we get the magnitude of the effect this is having on generations, frankly, this generation of young people, and more to come if we don't do something significant and of significant response. And the company, you know, is attempting to almost put the onus on parents and users to change something,
right,
when really we're telling them, no, it's you guys. You designed this app in such a way that you knew it would make young people addicted and that it would cause them harm. And instead, you're saying you're looking to promote the well-being of young people. And we're saying, no, you're lying about that. All the tools exist with the company to redesign their platform, to redesign their apps, to lessen the notifications, for example, to do other things that will cause that will reduce or frankly eradicate the harm that it's caused to our young people. So we're looking for major injunctive relief here, a shift in position by the company to change the way in which they have designed this product and these platforms. And of course, where people have been harmed, restitution and other civil penalties. And all of us are fully committed to taking this as far as we can to get folks, to hold folks accountable for this, these actions.
Attorneys General Phil Weiser of Colorado, Andrea Joy Campbell of Massachusetts, thank you both. We will definitely be following this.